Hi there, Aries. Welcome to your mid-June 2025 General Tarot update. It's Rena here. I'm recording this at night and it's kind of weird. So I'm also doing a very tight shot. So um, please excuse any if it feels kind of crammed in together, but I want the greater resolution because it's a little bit less blurry. But see, then you can't see that I got all these cards here, or piles of cards. But, you know, it should work out pretty well. Yeah, I don't know about all these settings on my camera. There's probably something for night, and I just don't know what it is. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so we have a couple of major arcana cards. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Moon card. And you know, the Wheel of Fortune is connected to Jupiter. Of course, Jupiter has just changed signs within the last couple of days as I record this. So there could be some connection to that because Jupiter has gone into Cancer, and this is one of those angular houses for you because you're a cardinal sign. This is the fourth house of home and family, and you may see some big developments there in the coming months, but maybe even right off the bat you've had something along those lines, or Jupiter is playing a part in your life. That's just one interpretation, but let's just talk about this. The heart of the matter is the Wheel of Fortune, and one thing I like about this Morgan Greer deck is that it really does conform to the standard Rider-Waite image of the Wheel of Fortune, which means that they depict somebody who's, and in this case more than one person, on top of the wheel, kind of toasting their good fortune, and then the other person's falling off the wheel. And you see in this deck, they have a hand that's cranking it, and it's the cloud, so it's the universe that is cranking the wheel and deciding who is, who's going to be on top and who's going to be on the bottom. And basically what this means to me is that we have seasons in life. You know, the Wheel of Fortune is about cycles. And sometimes we feel like everything is aligned. I call it, rather than luck, I call it alignment. And the reason I do that is because luck seems kind of random, and alignment to me seems like we are also kind of either like going after certain things that we want and feeling that, you know, there's a chance that we could actually manifest those things, but also that we are feeling deserving of receiving. So there's all of that going on. And then sometimes people kind of block their blessings and all of that. So I would say to you, this is also a card of like, you know, the twists of fate. And have you experienced that at all? Actually, Aries has been so greatly influenced lately because you've had an eclipse. It's the last one in that series with your opposite sign, Libra, but that eclipse was just in, like, at the end of March. So we're just talking about, you know, about less than 3 months ago. And then you've had two outer planets going into Aries. You've had, first it was Neptune, and then Saturn. So that's really big changes. And this is going to continue, obviously, because these planets are slower to move, especially Neptune. So that could be what this is all about, is that you're feeling these changes big time. But it could be something good that has come into your life in general. In the past position, we have the Four of Pentacles, and this is a card of financial stability and, being very, I was going to say frugal, but that's not necessarily true. Sometimes it can be true, but being very good at, handling your finances. So both of those cards suggest financial abundance, or at least security of some sort. Now, what's funny is that the Five of Pentacles is right below it, and that's lack consciousness. The higher message is a card that I personally connect to Aries, but I think technically it would be, I really don't know if it's connected to any of the fire signs like Sagittarius or whatnot. Leo is royalty, maybe that's Leo, but I just have that, it's almost like a warrior's helmet, like it would be an Aries person. But it's kind of, it's a very take charge kind of a vibe. The wands are fire, and it's very much about sovereignty, independence, resourcefulness, freedom. And this is a card of self-actualization, in my opinion, where a person steps into their own power. They're not asking permission to do something. And that certainly is an Aries kind of a vibe. Now, this is the spiritual lesson. What does this mean? It means that there may have been something where you had the gumption, the courage to just go after it, and it made your life kind of flow. And so if you are, feeling, perhaps, I think in the upright position, you would be feeling more of that everything is going your way. But what is coming in is the Five of Pentacles. So what that suggests to me is that if you're an Aries person who has struggled in the past with having that kind of confidence about success, and you are experiencing some sort of good fortune, and this is not necessarily something that you're used to. I mean, this could be like, yeah, you're watching your dollars and cents. You have to step into that power coming from this position of a sovereign soul, meaning that you're not here as a beggar. You're here to inherit the kingdom. You could say the kingdom of God, but the inherit the earth. And this is, not all Aries people are the same. And some, you could have your moon in Pisces and you could be quite, or Virgo or something like that, and you could question yourself on a regular basis. And maybe you veer between being very cocky and being unsure of yourself. So the energy coming in is the Five of Pentacles. So look for that tendency to focus more on the material than the spiritual. This can represent stained glass window, which represents God. And the Pentacles represents the material resources. So it becomes one of those things of where are you putting your focus on? Because if you're putting your focus on merely the physical, you're not really seeing the magic that is kind of unfolding before you, because it's really, I feel like it's something that for some of you, you may have been waiting for this for a very long time, this good fortune. And the outcome is the Moon card. Sometimes when I get this in a position like the outcome, I almost think it's a timing card, that there's some full moon coming up that is going to be particularly significant. Well, actually, the next full moon that we have is in July 10th. And it's going to be in Capricorn, which is your 10th house of career. So that could be a promotion, some kind of recognition that you're receiving. And that could just be more of the same of this good fortune that's coming to you. But it's always darkest before the dawn. And sometimes when people are starting to have what they want, it can be frightening, because especially if they're used to not getting what they want. So embrace the good and believe in yourself, like the King of Wands, Aries. So that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, be it astrology, the tarot, or both, I do have package deals. I also have individual readings for chart interpretation, transits, of course, tarot, and career, love. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.